So big oopsie on my part, guys. I said that there would be a chapter this week in my coverage of chapter 1147 of One Piece. However, there will not be because this week is Golden Week. So big apologies, my bad. But what's very interesting about this is that during one of my previous Golden Week videos, during Golden Week, which is funny that that happened, I got a comment from YouTube user Toronero, and they were likening Miss Golden Week's color traps to the effects of the abyss that we are seeing in Elbaf right now, and how marked individuals can only use the abyss, much like how certain things happen when Miss Golden Week marks an individual with paint. So, the going theory is that Miss Golden Week, Marianne, got her easel with all this paint from a Devil Fruit user, presumably somebody with the paint fruit or the pigment fruit. With that being said, the reason why I have always likened her paint abilities to a Devil Fruit, because it can materialize clothes and objects, and we see that in the Baroque Works cover story, and it shoots out like a big ringed rainbow in the sky and then materializes these items on these various people, and that's insane to me. So yes, I do think Miss Golden Week's paint is from a Devil Fruit, but I think much like, say, what we're seeing with the Mark of the Abyss, it's a Devil Fruit ability that you can lend out to other people, because I do think Emu is some sort of snake mythical Zoan with deity-like properties, much like, say, Nika or what have you, in which they can give people this Mark of the Abyss, and then once they do it, they have a connection in which they can use these teleportation powers. So in a more grassroots, localized fashion, this mysterious paint or pigment fruit user has given this palette to Miss Golden Week, which allows Miss Golden Week to use a more condensed variation of their abilities, which seems to be just affecting people's mood by the color and the mark that she places on the person in question, and at her peak being able to materialize clothing based on the dreams of the affected targets. With that being said, too, I think this Devil Fruit is more like Gunko than we think, because I think Gunko, much like, say, Katakuri, is a special paramecia in which the things that they generate have different properties to it. With Katakuri, his mochi had unusual stickiness, and with Gunko, the arrows have an assortment of different abilities. So much like the arrows, I think the paint has a massive assortment of abilities, and when we actually meet the actual paint fruit or pigment fruit user, we're going to see that their abilities are quite vast and have some of the abilities that Miss Golden Week has shown off. But with that being said, too, I would like to thank Toronero for this comment, because it did get me thinking about the paint fruit even more. But with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede Waxen.